In this lesson, we're going to learn how to solve two-step equations. All right, Nick?
Okay.
All right, first we're going to review one-step equations, okay?
Okay.
First of all, we're solving for x because x is representing the answer, all right?
Okay.
So you always want to find out what x is representing, okay?
Okay.
The next thing we want to do is we want to undo the actions that have happened to x, all right? So we can get them all by itself. So we have to look at the actions in math. Now in math, we have 4 actions, which is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So first we'll group addition and subtraction, all right? They'll be actions. And then we'll group multiplication and division. They're the other 2 actions, all right?
Okay.
So let's look at this first example. 2x equals 14. We want to find x and figure out what it's representing. But first we have to figure out what action is being done to x. So here we're multiplying x by 2. So what's the opposite of multiplying?
Dividing.
Dividing. So we'll divide both sides by 2. Bam. The x's are gone, right?
Yeah.
We'll bring the x down by dropping it like it's hot. And what's 14 divided by 2?
7.
All day, every day. Good job. Now let's look at the next example here, right?
Yeah.
We have x minus 8 equals 2, right? We have to figure out what x is representing, okay? So what is happening to x right here?
It's being subtracted.
Right, by how much?
8.
All right, so the opposite of subtracting 8 is doing what?
Adding 8.
Exactly, so we add 8. Now, do you surf?
Yeah.
Right, so you have to stay balanced, right?
Uh-huh.
So you got to keep your balance. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side, right?
Yeah.
So if we add 8 to the left, what do we need to do to the right?
Add 8.
Yeah, you're a good surfer, I can tell. Here we go. So we cross those out, right?
Yeah.
And this x is a heavy boulder, so we want to do what?
Drop it.
There you go. We drop it on down, so x equals 10. I'm assuming you know how to hang 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So x equals 10. So what we've done here is we've solved 2 one-step equations, all right? Now you ready for the next step?
Yeah.
Now we're going to add one step with the other step.
Okay.
And that makes 2 steps, okay? All right. So now let's talk one more time about our actions, all right? In a
Okay.
2-step equation, you don't know whether you should add or subtract first or multiply, divide first. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. The first thing you want to do is you want to do the small actions first. In math, the small actions are addition and subtraction, okay?
Okay.
Now let me tell you why these are the small actions. Let's say you have $100, okay?
Okay.
And you add 10 to that. So you have $110, right?
Yeah.
Not much more than you had, right?
No.
That's a small action. But let's say you had $100 and you subtracted 10. Then how much would you have?
$90.
$90. Still not much more, not much less than what you had in the beginning, right?
No.
Now let's talk about the big actions, all right?
Okay.
So the big actions in math, the big actions are multiplication and division. Those are the big actions, okay?
Okay.
Now let's say you have $100 and you multiply that by $10. How much would you have?
1,000.
1,000, right? You can move out the house, go on your own, get a brand new car, right?
Yeah.
You'd be living the life with $1,000. However, if you had $100 and you divided by 10, how much would you have?
$10.
You'd be broke, right? You'd have to move back in with your parents
Yeah.
and keep living as a little kid, right? All right. So we have 2 types of actions, small actions and big actions.
Okay.
So to solve a 2-step equation, we want to do the small actions first and then the big actions.
Okay.
Cool. Let's take a look at this problem here. We have 2x plus 6 equals 10. So once again, we're trying to solve for x, right? Figure out
Yeah.
what it's representing. So we do the small actions first. So we see here we're adding 6. What's the opposite of adding 6?
Subtracting 6.
All right. From how many sides?
2.
There you go. From both sides. Man, you surfers, man. You get this stuff quick. So the 6 is go, right?
Yeah.
We put the 2x on the elevator, boop, down to the first floor, right?
Yeah.
So we bring it down. So 2x equals, what's 10 minus 6?
4.
4. All right. Now it's time for the big action, right? What's being done to x is multiplying by 2. So what's the opposite of multiplication?
Division.
Division. We divide both sides by how much?
2.
All righty then. Boom. Down to child's wear. Down one more floor. Bring x down. And what's 4 divided by 2?
2.
2. Very good. So x is representing 2.
Okay.
Good job. Uh-oh. What are those?
Big numbers.
Oh, yeah. These are fractions, huh?
Yeah.
You getting a little nervous? Want to break
Yeah.
out in the sweat? Just chill, dude. It's all good. Fractions are just like the other numbers, okay? As long as you do the 2-step, it doesn't matter if you have fractions, decimals, or whole numbers, okay? You follow 2 steps, you're going to be in there like swimwear. You got it?
Yeah.
Here we go. So once again, we're representing here for x, right?
Yeah.
So we do the small action. We see subtraction. We're subtracting 1/4. So what's the opposite of subtraction?
Addition.
You got it. So we're going to add 1/4 to both sides to balance that surfboard, right?
Yeah.
So these cancel, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to get your mom a gift from Women's Wear?
Yeah.
That's down in the basement. Boop. Bring down to 1/8. 1/8 x equals, what is 3/4 plus 1/4?
4/4.
Can you say that twice fast?
4/4. 4/4.
Okay. What is the easier way of saying 4/4?
1.
Exactly. That's much easier, right?
Yeah.
So 4/4 equals 1. We're almost there. So 1/8 x equals 1. Now it's time for the big action. What is the opposite of dividing by 8?
Multiplying by 8.
You got it. So we're going to multiply both sides by 8. The 8's cancel, right?
Yeah.
Is this x really hot?
Yeah.
So let's drop it. Bam. Bring the x down. And what's 1 times 8?
8.
You got it. Piece of cake. Good job, Nick.
Yeah.
Now you see fractions weren't that bad, were they?
No.
No. And now you know how to solve two-step equations, right?
Yeah.
All right. So go do some problems, man. All right?
Okay.
And get ahead in math, Nick.